Hey there. Wondering why I'm so sad? Well, sometimes sitting on the desk up here is lonely. I don't get to do anything. It's getting tiring. I want to end my life, but I can't. Instead, I'll just tell you a story about my putty. On June 25th, 2013, I was riding my bike when suddenly, I saw a garage sale sign. I was very excited, since I love garage sales. I rushed over to the given address, but I wasn't happy with what I saw. There was barely anything. Just a small table with a bunch of broken furniture, and one weird ball container about 6 centimeters in height. The man who was running the garage sale was really old. He was sitting in a wheelchair with a really neutral look on his face. I went over to him and said, "What's the ball thing you've got on your desk?" "Putty," he said. Just a side note, I love putty. It's one of my favorite toys, since it's basically goo that bounces. I even made some at home with a science kit I bought from a local Walmart. "How much for the putty?" I asked. The old man made a wide grin and softly exclaimed, "It's free." I thanked him and rode off on my bike. I came home and went to my room. I shut the door and opened the container in which the putty was in. And I was strongly disappointed. It was all liquidish, and it didn't have enough support to hold itself together. It almost spilled all over the floor. I got some all over my hands, and it felt really weird, like it was gently squeezing itself into my pores. I put it back into its container and closed it. Right before bed, I had a very unusual urge. I really felt like I needed the old man's putty to be in my hands while I sleep. I thought it was the stupidest thing I'd ever thought of, and went to sleep. My dream was very interesting. I had a dream that the old man covered himself in a blanket made of putty, and didn't come out. In fact, the putty pretty much ate him, and left no remains. What scared me was his laughter. While he was being reduced, he had very low-pitched demonic laughs. It all sounded like a messed up pixelated screech. I woke up that day when the alarm clock got set off. I had to rush to school. I packed my lunch, ate my breakfast, and when I went to check if the computer in my room was off, I saw the putty, spilled out the container. I wanted to put it back in, so I went over and scooped it into my hands. I got carried away with the putty and started playing with it. I was already late for school, but I just couldn't stop. This putty had such an amazing feeling. It felt like life was oozing onto me. I rubbed it all over my face and hands, and even rubbed my stomach with it. The putty was getting smaller and smaller, until for some reason, it disappeared. At that point, I rushed to school and ended up 3 hours late. I returned feeling sick. I felt like I was wobbly and unstable and weak. I didn't even feel any organs in me. I just felt like I was a void. So, without eating, I went to sleep. This time, I had a horrible dream. I dreamt the old man crawling out of the putty. He was growing for 3 hours, until I realized that he was in somebody's body. Then, everything turned white, and I appeared out of nowhere. I had a really weird look on my face. It looked like I was some sort of psycho. I was smiling with a huge grin. Then, I put my hand on my forehead, and putty started coming out. That's when I put all of it into a container, and closed it. I woke up, feeling massive pain. I literally felt like I was torn to pieces and split apart. Weakness and drowsiness were massive feelings too. Everything looked big. Then I realized that I saw a giant me on a huge bed just like mine. I thought that I was still dreaming, but no. I saw myself wake up and walk towards me. It looked as if he was scooping me up into both of his hands. Then, it was like he looked straight into my eyes. Nothing is free, he said. Suddenly I understood. He dragged me through the putty. I should have known. But that isn't what it was. He put me down, and without him touching me, I felt torn apart again. Oh no, I muttered. I looked around my feet and there were huge lumps of putty. But the things around me weren't huge. I was small. You sick little shit, I muttered to my enormous appearance in front of myself. How could you? Well, I got tired of being in that body. I realized that the thing in front of me wasn't me. It was the old man. He absorbed into me using the putty and extracted what was of me into the putty that he was in. It was planned all along. He left the room and shut the door. Since then, he never came back. So these days, I just sit here on my desk, in immense, endless pain, waiting for someone to play with me. If you don't mind, we can be great friends. Thanks for sticking around to the end. And if you enjoyed today's story, make sure to leave a like. And if you want more like it, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a story. If you need more now, why not check out my Creepypasta playlist? I'll leave that on this card, and I'll catch you in the next story.